I'm supposed to click it. I'm like, I didn't know that. I was waiting for it. Present is a fleeting and vague concept at best. The moment between the past and the future. That doesn't really mean anything. Thinking too much about things that don't make sense is a waste of time. That's why living through present is always the best option. Besides, for us who can't foresee the future and forget the past too easily, present is really the only proof of our existence. Even though the existence will go on even if you forget about it for a while. It's good to seize the day, at least every once in a while. Oh, by the way, that is her catchphrase. Like, all the girls have a catchphrase. Like, I mean, it's not really mentioned in the game. It's just like outside the game. You know how Hanako, who has scars on her face, is, "Can you face your fears?" And like Lily is like, "Can you see what I see?" Whatever. And for Ren, who has no arms, it's like, "Can you seize the day?" Or yeah, it all relates to their disability. Or yeah. That way you can confirm that you're in fact alive. I'm pretty sure that the girl who's standing there half naked staring out of the window of my room has a much better grasp of present than I do. As for me, well, right now I'm somewhat confused by my present state, since I should try to look at my shirt and not stare at Rin's butt. But I just can't stop looking at her. She's so close to the glass that her nose is probably going to leave a mark. At least her breathing does, when it condenses on the rain-cooled window glass before quickly disappearing again. My shuffling around to get dressed doesn't rouse Rin from her contemplation, which is fine, really. I don't mind the silence as much as I used to. Only after I'm almost finished buttoning up my shirt does Rin say something still without turning to look at me. Let's go somewhere. Where? I can only assume she's inviting me, not that window still, but it's a fair guess, because she might want to bring it along with it. I'm just saying. I know. What? Help me get dressed. I think today is the day. Come on, clothes. Clothes, clothes, what an impatient tone. I crouched down to pick up her bra from the floor where it has fallen, discarded in the haste of undressing and forgotten there. Hanging it from between my fingers like a dead fish, the same hesitation that grasped me when I was undressing Rin is creeping inside my head again. Is intimacy really something this difficult for me to handle? Come on, you got it off just fine. This is the same, but the other way around. It's like talking backwards. Yes, c'était tout simise. Perplexed by her sudden and prodigious display of mental processing capacity, I forget to attempt reversing her gibberish back. I'm pretty sure I couldn't switch to talking backwards that fluently even with some practice. Could you repeat that? Yes, sir, c'était tout simise. Got it, fine, I'll give it a try. Rin was right. The locking mechanism is simple enough, and I get the little plastic hooks right on the third attempt. There. Tai desire oh you one. What? Please stop that. I don't speak backward ease. She shakes her head as if needing to banish the backwards way of thinking with a physical gesture. I know a few people who could benefit from that kind of ability. I got stuck. Now you have to adjust it. Adjust? That's what I said. No, I asked what you meant. You know, so that you're fine. Oh, fine, you say? As I have no idea what a bursts are supposed to be fine. I end up fumbling around her chest for a good while without getting anywhere. Not that I would complain, but Rin does. Amy is better than you at this. Her impatient tone ticks me off even though I can't really disagree. Rin suddenly seems to be in an awful hurry. Yeah, well, excuse me, could it be because she's a girl and can actually relate? I don't think so. She has just as much as... Oh, sorry. I don't think so. She has just as much chest as you do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Her bra and breasts eventually fine, as they should. The rest of her clothes are considerably easy to put on. Rin launches towards the door even though her shirt is not buttoned up all the way yet. Left for little choice, I went after her. As soon as I realized that we're heading for the side entrance leading to the forest, I think I know where Rin wanted to go. Although I couldn't say why she wanted to go there. Then again, I can't really assume my guess is to be anywhere near correct when Rin is concerned. Not even for a quite generous definition of correct. The forest behind the wall smelled of rain. The last raindrops are still dripping from the wet undergrowth into the earth despite the rain being gone for a while already. We stroll along with an unhurried pace that Rin sets, giving me time to take in the calming atmosphere. I think I can hear Rin saying hello to at least 3 different trees while she walks past them, but I ignore it, just like the trees do. No, I'm pretty sure they love Rin talking to her. They like me when I talk to them. She leads me to the narrow side path leading up to the hilltops as I guessed. I peek through the canopy trying to find a rainbow, but it doesn't seem to be one. It's a perfect weather for rainbows. The sun is shining low and the rain has passed not too long ago. Well, whatever. I lower my eyes from the treetops to see the gaunt back of the girl who's climbing up the hill slowly, without losing her balance. A few steps ahead of me on the path, but still within my reach. I don't think I could ever reach a rainbow, but reaching Ren, it seems less impossible now than it used to be. The clear sky greeting us from above the meadow clearing seems vast and beautiful. A strong wind is herding the rain clouds away from the town to the other side of the meadow, mountains in the distance. The sight is pretty, but a speck of white flies past the edge of my peripheral vision, but when I turn to look, it's already gone. Another follows, then a third. Before I realize it, dozens of almost invisible small tufts of white are flying all around us. Look, the flowers. Ah, I see it now. The sea of dandelions that covered the hilltop on our last visit has changed over the days. Where there was a bright yellow before, there is now fluffy white. Some of the flowers have already shed their seeds, but many are still waiting for a suitable gust of wind. Today these gusts are not in short demand. Every now and then they shake the grass thoroughly, and suddenly the air is thick with dandelion seeds. One by one, the seeds separate from the flower heads and are lifted away. A commonplace event, but one that seems to fascinate Ren for some reason. She's turning her head from side to side, marveling at the change happening all around her as the seeds fly away. I watch them too, following the white tufts floating with the wind towards the horizon, and imagine that I can see them even after they disappear from my sight. Hasao? What is it? Do you love me? I snapped her attention to meet a suddenly very serious face that is not looking only at the flowers anymore. What a tough question asked just like that out of the blue. Still, her bluntness compels me to answer rapidly. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe too rapidly. What does that mean? I don't know. Rin sighs, perhaps unhappy with my wishy-washy answer. I would be too. Seriously? Hasao, you are such a freaking disappointment. The one time you've been complaining this entire freaking game that how Rin is so ununderstanding, how she's not straightforward. She gives you a straightforward question for once in the game, and you give her a bullshit answer. You disappoint me, sir. You disappoint me greatly. Me neither. I don't think I know much about love. It's fine, isn't it? How should I know? The shrug of her shoulder seems to say, hesitating to give a firmer answer. She stays silent for only a second too long, but even that second isn't long enough for me to think ahead. I love you. Those 3 words freeze me in a place like a rabbit staring into headlights, but I'm not a rabbit and I'm just staring into Rin's eyes that seem far too impassive for what she just let out of her mouth. Rin looks pretty serious though, until she sticks out her tongue, frowns a little and confuses me even more than her words did. Why did she look mildly unhappy? Was it a confession of her deepest feelings? A test to see how I react? A test to see how she would react? It tastes weird. Taste? Yeah, so weird. She laughs, maybe nervously or so I want to think, but stops midway when she notices how strange it sounds. Like, I don't know what. I don't know what there's a word for this. Rin keeps on talking as though there were no meaning behind her words, steady and carelessly, words dropping from the same tongue that formed the more important ones. A word for, accept. It's like, she can't find the words. Rin just keeps staring at me, stumbling with her words as if her brain suddenly ground to a halt. She looks awfully confused, much like how I feel right now if I wait for her to explain. But she doesn't, just blinks a few times, the flutter of her long lashes catching my fancy because she looks like she's petrified otherwise, until I realize what they were fighting against. It's those weird tears again, not associated with sadness or happiness, not pitiable, sobbing, nor laughter or joy. Just tears, spontaneously and without a warning, like that one time in a classroom. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who cries just randomly. It's like I just start crying. Well, it's not really crying. Well, I guess is crying related to sadness, or I guess it would. I guess it isn't. It's not associated with sadness, but sometimes your eyes just start watering for no reason. You cry and I'm just here watching a freaking TV show. I'm like, what's going on? I'm not sad or happy or anything. I'm just bored watching TV, and all of a sudden, like, tears start leaking. I'm like, it stops after a few minutes, but it's weird. Just a few of them, not enough to make a fuss about, so Rin doesn't make a move to hide them even after noticing. Rin cries, looking like she has no idea why, and somehow a great uneasiness grows in my chest when I look into her watery eyes that stare right back at me. It petrifies me too, the shock of her incomprehensibility of the situation. I just don't know what is happening anymore. Rin, what's wrong? She shakes her head in confusion, stumbling to get the words out of her mouth. Sorry. I might be a little afraid of you. The words are muttered slowly with a small voice that is as disbelieving of what it's saying as I am. What? Why? I don't know. Saying that just made me feel like that. People cry when they're afraid, right? See? I can do it too. She's averting her gaze now, deliberately not looking at me. It bewilders me, at least as much as what she's saying. I sometimes, with you, want to run away so badly, but I can't move. It's like my legs turn to lemon panada cotta pudding, and my heart feels like it's going to explode. And she slumps her shoulders. Whatever that word is, I ain't gonna even try to say that word again. Shit. Has a thing like this ever happened to you? I remember the leaden sky above the frozen forest and the sound of the leafless branches clacking against each other. It's like a memory from another life. Yeah, once. My heart hurt a lot back then too. But I thought your thing was not contagious. I shake my head and a tiny, slightly forced smile rises on my lips. On my lips! The other element of my heart could very well be contagious, and I wouldn't care a bit. What are you afraid of? I never thought it was scary. Rin shakes her head desperately, as if knowing that the tingle inside her mind won't be done with just that. You make me feel that I should be someone else than me. It's a scary thing. It happens when you're being nice to me, like yesterday. I never know what to do at times like that. It's hard. Her voice is very audible. It whispered admission of something that is too embarrassing to even think, not to mention say out loud. Rin has never been one to be embarrassed, so she does utter it aloud, only timidly as if by instinct. But I want to do something. But I don't know if this me can. For a moment we stare at each other, as if waiting for the other to say something. You are so stupid. Rin's lips taste salty and scared against mine. As I grasp her into an embrace, I feel my heart thumping in my chest painfully. Even though I'm glad that she can say things like this, they make me sad after all. Rin's spirit, her passion, her strength, all those things that I hold dear are the ones I don't want to change. How should I treat them? Where are they headed to? Is that future irrevocably different from mine? The anxiety will never lose its grip on my heart, but I think I could learn to live with it. Slowly the pain in my heart dies out and it settles into the same rhythm as Rin's. We listen to that for some time. After our lips break apart, it takes a while for either of us to realize that we can say something now. See? You're a really kind person, even when you're not. It's the most scariest thing ever. I think that all I was ever afraid of is your kindness. Is it bad, even if you're afraid? She thinks about this for a while, throwing her brows as though this was some kind of hard math problem. No. I'm alright with it, if it's you. Like a weight lifted from my chest, her lungs elate my heart, filling it with, I don't know, happiness, joy. Oh, I feel like amazing. I feel like amazing. I'm breaking all the rules of English because of the way I'm feeling about this girl right now in this field of dandelions floating by. Oh. What else could it be? This time my smile is genuine. Rin steps back, still smiling gently at me like I do at her. While she wipes her face on her shoulder, I pick up a round, plump dandelion clock and bring it to my pursed lips. They spread out into the wind that picks them up to carry them to a new home. To think, only a few short weeks ago, they were so different. This is change. Hey, so the flowers became what they were meant to become, like you said the last time. What about you? Did you become a true artist, or did you not, because you ran away? She pauses for a while to ponder my question and shrugs her shoulders. It almost makes me laugh. The carefree easiness of her gesture is a lovely thing, a sign of how Rin can truly and really, without any restraints whatsoever, shift the entire weight of the world from her shoulders, should she will so. She is in every way possible, and probably a few impossible ways, free. And I think I might love her for that. I don't think it matters. Let's just watch the clouds for today. She takes 5 steps to climb on a large rock so she can rise as high as possible, and stands on tiptoes. When you reach for the clouds, every inch counts. Sure, let's watch the clouds. It's good to do something you really want to do, every now and then. Yeah, you're probably right. I glance upwards at the blue sky opening high above us. It's a deep, serene vastness that spreads to fill my entire vision and beyond. Yet Rin stays on a rock, peering at the distant horizon where the rain clouds are drifting further away from us. I have decided something. That dreamy voice of hers, spoken to the wind that carries it to my ears, is lacking resolve and tone, but it's full of meaning. It's alright to be me, after all. It's alright. Her decision always seems to be pretty far out. Well, I suppose that is an important realization. Coming to terms with oneself, accepting yourself, being fine with what you are. A simple resolution of heart that for some people is overly hard to do, if not impossible. I do realize well enough that I might be one of those people. Yeah, me too. Rin too. Maybe we're not so different after all. Maybe to accept someone else, you must first accept yourself. Maybe that's a necessary step which we didn't take until now. Looking at her standing on the rock, I believe that she can find whatever she is looking for. And so can I. The wind catches her hair and clothes, and Rin spurs her short arms into an embrace that is so very, very tiny, but as wide as she can ever be. For a moment it looks like she herself might take flight, and I have to hold myself back to not reach for her shoulder, to not drag her back to me. But this picture is something I can only watch. It is something for me to remember. Rin's sleeves are flapping freely in the wind, her hair wildly tousled by it, her skin touched by the setting sun. Her sleek form that I've come to adore is quivering in the cool wind that carries the small white specks past her, each a beginning of a new flower. All that is engraved inside my heart, like those tiny seeds scattered into the wind. I'm sure that Rin too can take her place in the world without the need to create her own inside of it. Maybe she believes it too. And in staying as close to heaven as possible, she's giving the world a big hug. To me, it seems like the entire world really could fit there, appreciating those tiny, small arms of hers inside of her all-encompassing embrace. Hassao? She looks at me in the same way she calls my name, carelessly over her shoulder with a strange happiness in her voice and in her eyes. I gaze into those mysterious dark eyes, that of curiosity twinkling from below her auburn hair. Although I'm too far from her to see it, I'm sure they're reflecting my image. What is it? What's the word for when it feels inside your heart? They think this world is alright. That was beautiful. Man. Oh, I ain't that. Oh man. Shout out to these people who made this game. Oh. Oh. Okay, let me just say, I know Rin is my favorite story, and I may have said Hanako is my favorite, couple, but the ending, Rin is my favorite ending. Her on that rock, just hugging the world, is my favorite ending. I'm trying to remember how did, let's see. I know how Shy ended. Amy, yeah, Amy, Rin, yep. I just love everything about it. And to think people on a 4chan forum made this game. Or they planned it on a 4chan forum. I don't really know much about 4chan, but yeah, 4 Leaf Studios. Oh, just the feelings! Thank you, 4 Leaf Studios, for making this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I know I certainly did.